Hey guys, so Destroying the Media, one of the most important video series I ever made. I made this around 2017 to 2018. I only made 8 parts to my series, but they're extremely impactful, and I would strongly suggest that everyone goes and watches them. You can actually find them on my channel very easily. I'm actually just going to show you right now, but basically, while it's loading, the reason why I'm making this video is because I follow everything Project Veritas does, and they have amazing investigations that I often reference in my videos. Like, they expose different websites, Google bias, things like that, and how corrupt they are, all things that I've talked about in the past and get proven right about when Project Veritas exposes it in a more direct way. But as you can see here, this is my playlist for Destroy the Media. There are 10 videos here, or 8 are from the actual series. The other 2 are from, this is kind of like a joke video, but it is true. And then what's going on with the media, because something happened at the time. But anyway, what we're here to do today is go through Project Veritas' recent investigation from just a couple days ago. They uploaded 3 parts to their series exposing CNN. Now, to all the dumb people that this was new information for, I'm hoping now that you finally realize it, and if you do, good. For those of you who are still in denial, this is not just CNN, this is all mainstream media. One thing I want to say before I get into actually showing a few key parts from his investigation is, all media is biased. Conservatives will hate all mainstream media, but they'll still support Fox News just because it's conservative. But Fox, although maybe less manipulative and less dishonest than other networks like CNN, they are still part of the mainstream media corporate, so they are also corrupt liars to a big extent. So you shouldn't dislike somebody or a network just because it follows your side, because a lot of times they are being biased and dishonest. But the reason why it's important to cover networks like CNN and their extreme left-wing bias is because, and you'll see it in one of the clips, by the way, Jeff Zucker, the CEO or whatever of CNN, he is a total fucking idiot. Like, oh my god, you'll see in this video a couple clips that I've highlighted to show you guys. And he talks about like how, oh, it's all because of the bias from Fox News. Buddy, listen here, you stupid little shit. Bias from Fox News, even if that's true, let's do some comparing. How many networks are right-leaning? Fox. How many networks are left-leaning? Literally all of them, aside from Fox. MSNBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, even like more online things like BuzzFeed, New York Post, Washington Post, Huffington Post, everything. All of them are left-leaning. You have so much on your side, yet you're still complaining and failing. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. But regardless, let's take a look at a couple clips. Starting off here.
Decided to wear a hidden camera.
The media created this monster.
Did you know he created this monster? And I want you to give him full play every single day. Yeah. The media created the Trump monster.
You know, this first clip is very telling. Like, there you got them admitting that, you know, CNN created this. They know that they created this. It is not the fault of Trump or supporters and things like that. It is CNN's fault. They created it, and now they're complaining about it. That's their hypocrisy and their corruption. Let's take a look at this next clip.
I think what's going on in America now is really fundamentally the result of years of fake news, conspiracy, nonsense from Fox News.
He was calling Fox News fake news and a propaganda machine, and with what I saw, I'm like, that's pretty much what CNN was. Like, it's just...
Exactly. By the way, if you don't know, this guy right here is a CNN insider, works for CNN, but went to Project Veritas to expose them. But there's Jeff Zucker right there, blaming Fox for everything. Meanwhile, CNN started everything. CNN created the Russia hoax. CNN talked about the Russia hoax every day, all day for 2 straight years. CNN went into denial every time the Russia hoax was debunked. CNN created everything and admitted to it. CNN created everything, prided themselves on it, was proud of themselves, bragged about it because of ratings, and then plays the victim about it. And then to call them, them the fake news and they're the cause of the problem. Meanwhile, they're the only conservative network versus like 15 left-wing networks is disgusting. Your damage control, Jeff Zucker, is fucking bullshit. You're an idiot, and you always have been. Seriously, Jeff Zucker is probably one of the most corrupt people in mainstream media news. Check out this next one.
Would it be fair to say that you being here today it's not politically motivated?
That's correct. It's not politics that motivates me. It's basically me wanting the news to be what they used to be, news, and not a infotainment or a game show or chasing the ratings like CNN purports it to be facts first, and that's clearly not the case.
Kerry,
I'm so glad he admitted that. Now, this is something most people knew for years. I've known this for years. I've been saying this in all my Destroy the Media videos and everything. But there you go, right from a man who works there, or used to work there. All they care about is the ratings. They don't give a shit about real news anymore. They never have. And most mainstream media outlets, I gotta make sure I pointed across that it's not just CNN. Most mainstream media outlets don't care about real news. It's not just Fox, or no, it's not just CNN. They only care about their viewers and about their ratings and what kind of stories that they can sensationalize. Real journalism, as we've said a million times, is dead. There is no real journalism anymore. It may have used to exist, but it sure as hell doesn't exist anymore. But again, this applies to all mainstream media and not just CNN and other left-wing media. This applies to Fox News as well.
Just on impeachment and nothing else.
Here you're gonna see the scumminess of Jeff Zucker. This is the CNN producer talking to Jeff Zucker, telling him what kind of stories there are going on in the world, talking about the 2020 Democratic nominations, talking about gun violence, things like that. And then watch how Jeff replies.
Topic in the 2020 Democratic nomination race today. The Giffords PAC has paired up with MSM. They've got a gun town hall in Las Vegas. 10 candidates will be showing up there throughout the day. I don't care about the MSNBC event. Okay.
Instantaneous. I don't care about the MSNBC event. Openly admitting that he just wants to talk about impeachment because that was something Nancy Pelosi brought up a couple weeks ago. And because of that, and it's a big sensationalized story that can get CNN a lot of views and ratings, or so they think. That's all he wants to talk about. So as you can see, the mainstream media does not care about talking about real news, what's going on, what's important, and what society needs to know about. They don't care about that. They pick and choose very specific topics and then obsess over them. Like, you can talk about impeachment, but do you have to talk about impeachment for 3 straight weeks? No. How about 1 or 2 days? That's what a normal news station from years ago would have done.
I don't care about him. Let's just stay very focused on impeachment and everything that happens today. Because look, you're going to be coming on at 3 o'clock. Trump is at 2. All the president's men are part of the cover-up.
What a disgusting man. This is something, again, we already knew. There's no surprises to be had here. I knew this already. I've been saying this in my other videos for a long time. But now you have it straight from Jeff Zucker's mouth. I don't care about real topics. I don't care about real journalism. I don't care about being neutral. I don't care about facts. I don't care about research. I care about picking one story that we can sensationalize for ratings and views, and that's it. Wow.
Media created this monster.
Yeah,
Media
back in
created Trump.
2015, right?
We eating him every single day.
Between you and I, he created his monster, and I'm eating him full plate every single day. Yeah. The media created the Trump monster.
He knew how to play it.
He's right from CNN. The media, primarily CNN, created the monster that they see in Trump. And now they complain about it every single day. Check out this last clip here. Actually, one of the last, sorry.
It's like the ones who stick strictly to news, and I can understand if you're tough, like maybe you're a little...
Before I play it, I want to just give you a brief explanation of what you're going to see. You've probably heard me say in many videos, and many people also say this, that news anchors, when they have a guest on, they are extremely biased. We've seen it before. If a left-wing, media outlet is interviewing somebody who's left-wing, they give them the easiest fucking questions. Sometimes they'll even answer the questions for the guest. But if they have a conservative guest on, they treat them terribly, they interrupt them, they cut their feed, they ask them very difficult or private questions, they manipulate their words. They are much harder on conservative guests, and that is intentional bias on their part. And this guy's going to admit to that. Enjoy.
Tough on the Democrats, it's okay, fine, whatever. Like, MSNBC is tough on Republicans, and we're tough on Republicans too. More so than the Democrats. Our Democrat interviews are like softballs compared to Republicans. I can understand.
You guys do a lot of Republican interviews, actually, though.
We do,
right? So which is good.
We do, but if you notice, like every time we ask questions to Republicans, like it's always a little tougher than when we do to the Democrats.
There you go. Straight from his mouth. What a disgusting, disgusting man. Check out this clip here from part 2 of Project Veritas' investigation.
On what Kamala Harris raised last night at 18 360, and others are talking about, it's not going to happen, but I think it's a good segment in a show. Should Trump's Twitter account be suspended? Obviously, what Kamala Harris raised, others are talking about it. Not going to happen, but it's a good talk. It's a good...
So there you go again. There we have yet again Jeff Zucker openly admitting that a story is not important, is not even true, but he wants to talk about it just because he thinks it'll bring in views and ratings. Right there. It's a good segment. It's good talk. Not gonna happen. He's admitting that a story is either not gonna happen or it's simply not true, but he still wants to discuss it. Anybody who still thinks that CNN and other mainstream media outlets are actual news, you are a very stupid person. Now, I don't remember what part it was of these 3-part investigations, but in one of these videos, I think it was actually part 1, James O'Keefe points out that less than 30% of all people actually still agree with and watch CNN for news. So it makes me wonder, what is the fucking point anymore? Genuinely, what is the point? CNN's ratings have dropped that high. It's very obvious that because of that, they're obviously not getting the views and ratings that they think they're getting, because the ratings are less than 30%, which is less than half. So I don't understand the mainstream media, primarily CNN's logic, well, I do because I don't have logic, to keep sensationalizing stories for the purpose of ratings and views when your ratings are that low. Clearly you should realize by now that your methods don't work. In fact, I was talking with a friend of mine and I came up with a few points that I think are very valid when it comes to modern mainstream media news. I quote, "Back in the day when the media would lie to deliberately say something stupid, it had a purpose. It was to manipulate people, push a narrative, or get attention. But none of that happens anymore. Too many people are watching alternatives like real news, alternative people online on YouTube, alternative media like OANN, etc. Too many people are watching alternatives, so the views are out. People are now against the narrative, so that's out. People are more aware, so manipulation is out. And the simple question is, why do they bother to continue lying when at this point the honest truth is, if the mainstream media told the truth, their ratings would actually go up. For one simple reason. If they told the truth and were doing actual fact-checking, sure, they would lose out on that sensationalized, big crazy topic. Let's talk about how wild Trump is and get everyone's attention. But like I pointed out, people don't care anymore. People are also too aware of your bullshit. I believe strictly that if the media started to be honest, do real research and journalism and fact check, people would be so shocked by it that right there could be your shock value. Your shock value no longer needs to be, let's lie about something and get people going. At this point, people have so little faith in you, and you don't seem to know that, but the people have so little faith in the mainstream media that the shock value now would come from you telling the truth. So if you are doing this for ratings and views, telling the truth would surely bring your ratings and views up. And that's the main thing I wanted to point out here when it came to the mainstream media and how Project Veritas has done amazing work in exposing it. Because you're not even helping yourself anymore. Jeff Zucker is so out of touch, he thinks that if I keep lying and keep pushing sensationalized, deliberately wrong stories, the ratings will go up. Well, clearly not, because you're under 30% according to James O'Keefe. The truth is, if the mainstream media was smart even a little bit, they would realize the shock value would come from the truth because it's just so fucking rare. Anyway, Project Veritas did an amazing job, but I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of this whole thing? See ya.